Hello PY coder. Today we will implementing real fence cipher using Python. PY coder real fence cipher is a transposition cipher that encrypt the plain text by changing the position of each characters. PY coder, let's first see what rail fence cipher actually does. PY coder cipher take an input string and keys and arrange the letter in the string in a diagonal fashion. PY coder for implementing rail fence cipher in Python or Triangular grid is required with the number of rows corresponding to the keys and the number of columns. Number of columns corresponding to the length of string to be encrypted, then the cipher text is generated, ready the resultant grid rows by rows. PY coder, let us first start coding part. First we will need an input string from the user. Here is input string. User can enter your string. PY coder, this will act as your plain text. Also, we will need a key to encrypt your plain text and user can enter the encrypt key here. PY coder, the key decide the number of rows in the grid. PY coder needs to create a grid for our encryption process. We are using a blank list. You can also use numpy array, but for simplicity we have used list. PY coder, the size of the list as and entered above will be the value of keys multiply length of the string to initialize the list. PY coder, we first fill the list with single space pycoder next be use list corresponding for initialize the list. Pycoder you can your mind that the size of the list is also defined along with the value initialization. Pycoder here blank list size 4 cross 10 is created. Pycoder next now bisa earlier the first character is put in the first box of the grid 0 comma 0. Then the following characters are put diagonally in the downward direction. Pycoder once it reach any extremely of the grid, pycoder next first your first and last rows it change the direction and continue in the opposite direction. Pycoder next be define a condition variable flag while define while determine whether we should travel in a upward or downward direction. Initialize both rows and flag will be 0. Pycoder next step is to phase through all the characters in the plain text and determine its position in the grid. Pycoder next characters index will be the same as the column number. If the grid show we only need to determine the rows number. Now it flag equal to 0, then we need to continue in the downward direction and it flag equal to 1, then travel in the upward direction. Pycoder its flag equal to 0, increment row number and if flag equal to 1, decrement row number. And also need to condition to change the value of flag. So if the row number of the current characters is 0, then flag will be 0 and if the row number is key minus 1, then the last row in the flag will be pycoder next behave fill in your plain text character into our grid. Now let's check if they are in the right position In this be use the join function which will be convert your list of the string py coder. Next getting your cheaper text first be need to your grid row by row and the eliminate the space between each letter as a row. Py coder next we will pause through the each character in the every row and append all the character which are not spaced to the initialized empty list. Py coder, let's run the code and enter the string value and enter the length of string, enter the keys, return the cipher text. Thank you PY Coder. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you again PY